Oh my god.
We got a damn good show.
These things are a danger to my health and to our reactions because I'm not gonna stop eating them.
They're so fucking good, dude.
And I literally can't speak when they're in my mouth. It just holds my entire mouth together.
Yeah.
And no matter how hard I try to get it's yeah, do what you want with that, internet. Do what you want with that little clip. All right, anyways. .307 Reacts. I'm Matt. That's Chris. I have had these things in my mouth. I've had some things in my mouth. They're called High Soft. It's a high chew thing, but these ones are salted caramel things. Man,
so good.
If we got sponsored by by them, I would die. I'm pretty sure I would. My arteries would just be full of salted caramel High Soft. Those things are incredible. If you don't know what they are, I've never tried them, highly recommend. Go get yourself a bag. Anyways, but don't talk to your friends or your family while you're eating them because it's impossible. On the screen in front of us, it's our boys, the Hodgetwins, most controversial duo on the internet, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure about that, but they do.
Yeah, it makes sense.
They do say, I'm sure their comment section is wild. I bet they've had some.
Their comment section is absolutely hilarious. If you have a sense of humor.
I was gonna say we've had some controversial comments just on our videos, and I can't imagine some of the stuff they come across every now and then. But this video is called "This Is Why No One Wants to Date Black Women." I often don't read these until they're pulled up on the screen because I'm like making sure everything is recording and it's just in our watch later. So I click it and then it comes up.
Yeah.
This is why no one wants to date black women. I have no idea what we just walked into, Chris.
I would say now, like most things, okay, the Hodgetwins, right? They're known for, a lot of people call them Uncle Toms or whatever, like, because they speak against the black community. The thing is they're here spreading this message saying, bro, you have just as good a chance as any other person. It doesn't matter what the color of your skin is. Sure, you might have grown up in a broken home. You might have grown up on the wrong side of town. You might have grown up in the hood. You might not have had the best start you could have. But if you work hard and you stick to common sense, and you can make something. And these two guys are a perfect example of that.
Yeah, and like you were saying about having a sense of humor.
Yeah.
If you have a sense of humor, you can understand that 90% of what these guys say against the black community, they're joking. Clearly they're joking. Like these are two black men that live black lives, you know what I mean? And they're just it's a lot of stereotypical shit that they're just making jokes about. You can do the same thing with two white boys on a screen, making stereotypical jokes, and we do it all the time. We call ourselves honky. We talk about doing redneck shit. Like we're white boys from Wyoming. Like we're kind of we're in a minority of our own out here. So.
But I would say that now I have seen this video. And I thought, you know what, this would be great because not only are the Hodgetwins in this, they have their producer who speaks a little bit on this. Okay. And then they have their buddy Chris. I thought his name was something else, but his name is Chris. I don't know how I forgot that because that's my fucking name, but whatever. I would say this doesn't apply just to black women. I have seen it out of women, okay? Like there are... I feel bad for Jose. He's 21 years old. He's out there in the dating scene,
Dude.
And it is a rough place. I keep telling him, I was like, bro, you just need to find you some 30-year-old woman, okay?
Who's got some money.
Who's got, maybe
she's
got a little bit of a career going on.
Got a career.
She knows what she's about, okay? She ain't going around playing no games. It said... That's where you need to aim, okay?
Doesn't drive a Range Rover. She drives a Chevy Blazer, like a 2014 Chevy Blazer, like a nice one,
Well, she might be a lesbian, but
Maybe she swings both ways, bro. And then at that, then you're just up to a good Saturday night. I'm just saying.
Adventure time.
So,
okay?
All right, ladies, buckle up.
Buckle up.
Let's go for it. Like, comment, subscribe if you're along for the ride. We really appreciate you guys being here. You're the best audience in the world. Here we go.
Yeah, got a show for y'all. Got a damn good show. Got to get in the shot. Got the whole family here. Got the whole crew here today. Got overtime and part-time here. I'm trying to move Chris up to full time. I gave him some more responsibility. Everybody, Chris is going to full time.
Full time, man. I might call out a few times.
Yeah, I might call out a few times.
Hey, so Chris sent us this video. Yeah, so we came across this. Women be doing this. Yeah, I ain't gonna say it. I'm just gonna show y'all the video. This happened to me.
All right.
Yeah.
It happened to you? Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah, it happened to me.
Crazy.
0441-61389. Brianna Hampton.
She just pepper sprayed me. She just pepper sprayed me for no reason in my house.
Great actress.
I can't keep following me.
No, I ain't following you nowhere. No, I don't have a gun. You really doing this lying stuff again? I'm recording everything.
Please hurry.
Yeah, please hurry, because she's crazy.
Because she's crazy.
She's crazy.
I'm gonna help you now, family.
Thank you.
Please hurry up. She's crazy.
Talk freely with me.
I can't keep following me.
No, I'm not. I'm upstairs. You downstairs. Do what you do. No, I'm not. Do what you do. I'm way up here. Do what you do.
Like somebody was packing
my
up that stuff,
God.
leaving. You see them trash bags full of stuff?
Yeah, I was. First of all, what is this mansion? This castle? They
It's
got
a nice house.
They got a hallway balcony overlooking the rest of the house and walk
Yeah.
out of their master bed. Like, what? I thought the master bedroom was like their living room. No,
Right.
that's just a bedroom where they've got a bed the size of the room with a couch with a giant sectional couch and a fireplace in it. And then that's just one of the bedrooms. Then you walk out and you got a balcony with a curved staircase going downstairs. And then there's like a whole nother archway that leads to what? First, that's my first question is what the hell is going on here? Second of all, the trash bags all over. There's shit all over this house. What is going on?
Well, if I had to guess, now I'm going to put a couple things together here. I would have to guess that their relationship wasn't going too well. Okay, now if I had to
What gave you that
imagine-
assumption?
Yeah, right. He probably has a very good job. And maybe she has a decent job, whatever the case may be. But I get the impression, based on how she was acting and how he was acting, that he's probably the one bringing in most of the money. He seems a little more level-headed.
She was like hyperventilating, man. She was like acting like she was out of breath or something. It's like, what?
But
you
he
doing?
probably had enough of her shit and was kicking her out. And she saw an opportunity of, oh, well, I can make this thing up saying that he's beating me and he's following me with a gun and threatening me. And then we're going to go to court. And I'm conditioned to a certain level of living by this
Sure,
point. So,
yeah.
I'm going to want the house. I'm going to
Sure.
want the, and so she's
So
just
she's
going to
making
get
shit
all
up
this
to make
money
it seem
and
like
these
it's way worse than it is, so
like-
that she gets
Yeah.
the better end of things.
Yeah, like if I'm going to end up not being with him, I might as well take as much as I can on my way out. Oh, boy.
Oh boys, I've got some memories, some recent memories stewing in my head right now. I am going to remain tight-lipped throughout this episode as much as I possibly can, and we're gonna react to the video.
We'll leave it there for now.
And not what's going on in my head right now. Boy, oh boy. I feel for this man. Fortunately enough, we live in an era where it's like, look, my phone records too.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to record this, and just this is what's going to happen right now. Man, I shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yep.
Learned some lessons. Let's keep going.
Somebody getting thrown out the house.
Somebody getting thrown
She
out.
went to plan B.
Yo, man.
She's attractive, though. I can put up a little crazy when you're attractive.
Nah.
I put up a little bit. But then you got to go when you call it a white man talking about he got a gun?
Man. Nah.
White man, that's all white man need to hear. Black man with a gun? I'm coming in blazing.
Blazing.
I ain't going out like that.
They ain't even gonna knock on the door. It's like, come,
Yeah.
come.
Yeah, we got a black man in the house with a gun acting crazy. That's all I need to hear. Got the woman crying?
Yo, she's like putting them near death, man, because some
Yeah, that's
cops come through.
That's
blazing.
facts.
Oh,
yeah. I done told y'all about that story when I was in the Marine Corps. Man, me and my wife at the time was always fight, but I never put my hands on her.
yeah.
I remember that black police officer. I'm telling you, in the Marine Corps, you listen good. Now, all she has to do is call out here and say, hey, you put your hands on, we're going to take you to jail. I said, look, man, they ain't going to come to that. He's all right. I've been here every day for like a couple weeks. I can see this escalating. She gonna get on your skin one of these days. You gonna clock her. That day came around.
Oh my God.
She called, started screaming. The next door neighbor said, I'm calling the cops. I said, call the cops. I ain't did nothing. Cops get there. Long story short, she told me I hit her. Cops interviewed her, interviewed me. I said, look, man, I ain't touch her. Look at my knuckles.
Ain't nothing.
She ain't got no bruise or nothing. Look at me. Look at like I got in a fight with a cat. Had all them scratches all on my arms. Yeah, those defensive wounds. Yeah, man, I was defending myself.
So they
pushing off.
They have to take you. They have to take you to jail when that comes. When they call.
Well, he looked at the evidence. He listened to what she had to say, but he looked at the physical evidence.
Substantial.
He's like, you know what? We taking her. Yeah, because she said
he took
got
her.
lucky.
took her because she
Dude,
said I
so
closed my
lucky.
fist and punched her in the face.
Man,
Wow.
She didn't have nobody. If I punch a girl in the face,
Let's be real.
Your face is gonna be all swollen up, right?
These are not two small men on the screen. Like
Facts.
these guys got 20-inch biceps. You know what I
and
mean?
he said
Like,
he was in the Marines at the time.
yeah.
Like he was probably in better shape
probably
than
even
he
a
is
little
now.
bigger. Yeah. Like if one of these guys takes a swing, even at a man, not even a woman,
You ain't having a good day.
I'm gonna need reconstructive surgery on the half of my face that he just caved in when he swung at me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's got a good point. It's like, and he's just being honest. He's like, if I actually close-fisted hit a woman, what he's got right now, like her whole face is gonna be different
Destroyed.
shape than the other side of her face.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah. He got so lucky. He got so lucky, dude.
Yeah.
And like he's just telling the truth. I shouldn't say lucky. He's just being honest. He got lucky that the cop didn't look past and just do the women's rights, Me Too movement thing and just
a lot
immediately
of cops get kind of lazy and they're like, typically this is what happens around here. Okay, now not every time, but typically they go, okay, so they get to the house, they de-escalate the whole thing, they separate the two people, you know, they put them each in a cop car, they ask them some questions,
Do the
what happened,
interviews,
they write
yep.
it all down, and then usually what happens is they take them both to jail, and then they go, you know what, a judge or whatever, they're just going to set them a court date, and then they meet up and the judge can figure this out. Like,
Yep.
I've
Let
done
the
my
court
job,
handle
let
it, yeah.
them, like,
Yep.
whatever. So he's lucky that he didn't get taken in and just thrown in, because when you're in the military and you go to jail, like that's kind of a big deal. You have work to do.
Well,
you know?
and typically that doesn't look too good for you staying in the military either.
Yeah.
Usually it's like, well, that's going to be possibly some dishonorable discharge shit, like depending on how they
or like
the
a
outcome.
huge fine or
Something,
you know,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And you're gonna miss days and certain things, and that's gonna be like, well, you missed out on the stuff, and
Yeah,
like
you're not getting the promotion. You're
Yeah,
not. I
yeah,
mean, yeah.
yep.
So he got extremely lucky that the cop just didn't go, you know what, this is for the court to figure out whatever. Like,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he did.
got lucky.
He got lucky on a lot of counts, and
Yeah.
honestly, just from being honest, you know, it actually worked
Yeah.
out for him. Like,
I wasn't even a participant in a fight, and I got hauled off to jail. Okay,
jeez, dude.
So here's how this thing now. The cop didn't want to sort it all out at the thing because he didn't really want to deal with it. So I was living with a step parent, and then the step parent had somebody else involved, and they were fighting, and the cops get called, and I'm just up in my bedroom playing video games. Okay, I was playing what was that? Dangerous Hunts 2004
Oh, wow.
or whatever. It was
Oh,
an old
wow.
blast from the past. Okay, I'm sitting up there minding my own business. I hear them screaming and yelling at each other. I'm like, whatever. Headphones on, don't care. Okay, so I'm doing my thing. Cops show up, and I hear a knock on my door. And I open it, it's a cop. He goes, hey, man, would you come with me? I was like, yeah, that's cool, whatever. So I go with him. We all three get hauled down to the station. They get thrown, like, they get into interview rooms. They sort out what had happened. Then they both go to jail cells. I was in a waiting room till, let me see, that was
Oh yeah,
10 o'clock at night.
Here it comes.
And I finally got interviewed at about 3 o'clock in the morning by somebody else. It wasn't the officer who made the arrest.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah, it's always a
And,
detective that comes in and does.
And he comes in and
interview.
asks me a couple questions, and I just sound like, yeah, they fight sometimes, and she was drunk and crashed her car in the bushes up front, and they were fighting about it, and I was just,
Good
I
Lord.
was playing my video games. I don't want to be involved. I don't care. Whatever you got to do, you do. Like,
Can I go
whatever.
back? Can I go back to playing video games?
And-
That's all I want to do.
And the guy was like, oh, okay, well, cool. Hang tight for a little bit. Do you have a job? I was like, yeah, I got to be to work at about 7 o'clock tomorrow. He goes, okay, well, it's about 3 now. He said, once we kind of finish up all the paperwork and reporting or whatever, I'll have an officer take you home. Okay, cool. 6:30 rolls around. Officer finally rolls into the room. He goes, "Yeah, so you got to be to work." I was like, "Can you just take me to work?" I rode to work in a cop car that day.
Good lord, dude.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, normally that's like how it'll go down. Is like the cops just don't want to fuck with it because let's be honest, they do have better things to do in a bigger city like Spokane, like catch shooters and thieves, and I mean, there's all sorts of crazy shit going on in bigger cities.
If it's a pretty like menial domestic violence thing, you know, like if it's like
not like anybody got seriously injured,
they
or
shoved each other and they
yeah.
kind of got in each other's face, like some scratches and stuff, whatever, scratches, bruises. They're like, okay, let's.
I got bigger fish to
We're
fry.
we're taking both of you. Just take them down. They can spend the night in jail. They'll get a hearing tomorrow. They'll see the judge tomorrow. They'll get out on bond, whatever it is, and then court will be in a couple months. Yeah. There's literally an active shooter on the other side of town, and I need to go take care of that because someone could actually be dying right now.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing for sure.
So yeah, extremely lucky.
Got lucky, man.
He just didn't get hauled off with her.
Yep.
So.
Right here. Yeah, man. I was like trying to warn Keith for weeks, months, man. Keith, you need to get out of this relationship. Tell you, you gonna wake up, you gonna have a knife in your chest. If I'm gonna wake up with a knife in my chest, as I'm dying, like this,
as I'm dying.
I kept telling that. I mean, man,
He wake up his
you just wake up to die. No, man, I was telling Keith, man, you gonna wake up, you gonna have a knife in your chest. Right? I said, this woman is unstable.
Yeah.
I used to come to see Keith, man, he had a new scratch on him every day.
Damn.
And that's like, he had that bearded woman syndrome. Man, now I can fix her. I can fix her, man. She just need a little bit more loving. Hey. All this, man, we gonna go to church on Sunday. Hey, hey, let me tell you something. I was in the Marine Corps, right? I went to work. I get to work, all my friends, right? I had never black friends when I was in the Marine Corps. All the black people stuck together in the Marine Corps, right? I wasn't Uncle Tom yet, right? I had never black friends, right? I get to work. As soon as I walk in, he's like, "Yep, she been whooping your ass again, huh?" He said, "Man, look at all the scratches and bruises on you.
You got dried up blood on your nose, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
And
so one never healed, and you got a fresh one the next day.
Yeah, I go to work, man. They be just laughing, man. She beating your ass again. I ain't gonna say her name.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't.
I was gonna say they were saying that again. She a preacher now, ain't she? I don't know what she
Preacher.
Damn. What was the problem? Like, what you told this story, but what?
I think she had some kind of, what do you call it, bipolar? Oh, I mean, I'm no doctor, but I would say she's bipolar because she would just
That'll do it.
Yeah.
She probably had bipolar.
God.
Diagnosed in my situation. I'm just gonna throw that out there. All right, let's keep going.
Anyway, like that black girl, man, that called the cops on this dude. Yeah. That's filing a false police report.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens to her when she? Here we
There ain't nothing gonna happen to her because she's a woman.
You crying wolf, so you can cry. There's no consequence for that. You can cry wolf all the time and nothing happens. Yeah. That's crazy.
It should be a felony.
Yeah.
Women do that. A false police report. Yeah, women do this though.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10 it's the dude, abusing a woman. Not really.
He was like,
look at me. I was getting abused. Yeah, 9 times out of 10 it's the other way around. I remember I was in the DMV, right? This was embarrassing.
Oh God.
So embarrassing. I'm gonna tell y'all the story. She whooped you at the DMV? No,
By the way, let me say this. I would say normally, like, let's say 10 years ago, that was probably the case. Is 9 times out of 10, it would actually be the case that the man was beating the woman, and it was what it was, right?
I'll buy that, yeah.
With the way things have gone in the past 5 to 10 years, I would say that there has been an increase in false cases.
And an increase in false cases for sure. And let's talk about the type of abuse here. It doesn't have to be physical. Let's talk about mental abuse and how manipulative some women can be. It doesn't have to be a physical abuse. You can. I have seen, and I've seen it myself even in past relationships. I've seen people change entirely. I have a friend right now who's been married for the last few years. I won't say his name on here, but he is a completely different person. He's not the same person at all. And I know for a fact, well, I guess I can't say I know for a fact. That's not true. But I have it on very good assumption and reasoning that it has to do with his wife and the way she like keeps, you know, what I want to say,
like manipulates and prods and pushes.
Yeah,
and,
the way she keeps the reins on him, you know, and it sucks because he loses a lot of those freedoms that he likes, and because of that, some of his friendships are suffering, and he's kind of forced to do these other things and find different means of communicating and things like that, and it's just
and I would say that's a lot of married couples these days.
Dude,
it's crazy.
The emotional, like. And maybe it's not abuse, maybe it's just manipulation. But I mean, manipulation is a form of abuse, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. If it's like a repeated
manipulation
thing.
Is an abusive tool. Like,
yeah, for sure. And so, like, just you know, they talk about, oh, she beat your ass again, and it's like that. It doesn't necessarily always have to be a physical thing. Like I know there's probably more nowadays, more mental abuse going on than physical abuse.
Yeah, and it usually ends up leading to some sort of.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like,
there's a limit with everything, man. You can only push a person so far.
Well, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I had told you and her, his last relationship. I told them both, if you guys don't fix this or leave, you're going to end up hurting yourself or each other. And the reason I knew that is because I had done it. I was in a 5-year relationship that was super toxic, lots of manipulation going on.
Literally right before this one. Before mine, you were in yours.
Yep. And I learned a ton. I mean, I wish I would have learned another way, but I don't think there's really any other way than the hard way.
Life lessons learned the hard way, man.
But I mean, it's somebody ends up getting hurt, most certainly mentally, for sure, 100%. Physically, it depends on how bad it gets. I mean, I was lucky to cut it off before. You know, I would never hit a woman, like, unless it was like she was killing me. Okay, like I might have to do something.
It'd be defense, man. Yeah.
You know, but it really did get to a point that I just didn't want to live anymore. And I was like, I don't want to hurt myself and be that way, dude, so I need to leave.
Man, like, and that's the thing. Like, you get to a point where you don't even want to play anymore.
Yeah.
You don't even want to play anymore. It's like, I quit. And the only way I can think to quit this is the old Remington retirement plan.
Yep.
Like, that's like the only reasonable thing. And what a crazy place to be in your brain where you've been manipulated so much that you think that something like that is reasonable. Like, you're legitimately contemplating something like that.
Like, and it's crazy because that's one person out of 7 billion on the planet.
Yeah.
Like, that's one
and they
person.
have that amount of control over you, and it changes you into a completely different person, dude. And I had friends during my last relationship. I've had friends that I've communicated with since then that have told me, like, dude, you were a completely different person. Like, you were absolutely not the same person at all. And have seen me in these recent weeks, especially in these recent weeks since I've been back in my house, that are like, yes, dude, like, this is you. This is the person. Like, you're back to the person that, like, we remember and we want to be around and we want to come around. And lo and behold, wouldn't you know it, people are coming around again and hanging out, and like things are lighter, better atmosphere, things like that.
The thing is you'll never be the same. Like, you'll never be the same after this. And you know, this is something that took me maybe 2 to 3 years of being out of my really toxic 5-year relationship, and you'll probably find this here in the next 2 to 3 years too. But like, you'll never be the same. There are parts of you that take forever to heal. Like, there are parts that, like, and luckily my wife is like super into, you know, making sure she's there for my mental health, making sure that I get, you know, hey, Sundays is really the only day we have together. If I'm like, listen, I need a Sunday to go shoot with the boys, we're gonna go out, shoot some guns, do some clay pigeons, whatever, you know, we're gonna go drive up in the mountains,
shoot a music video, whatever the case may be.
She'd be like, yeah, if that's what you need, go do it. But like, I've been really lucky to have that to kind of help through, because you're never gonna heal, like, especially deep mental scarring. You're never gonna get it. Like, not that you're ever gonna get it, but like, it has forever changed you.
And I think I may have said this in a previous video, that since we've been back in the studio, my entire world is a red flag right now. My whole world, like, even in men, like, even in friends and acquaintances and stuff. It's just my whole.
You see something toxic, whether it's a man or a woman. You see something toxic, you want to cut them out.
Oh, immediately, dude.
Yep.
To a point where I almost want to just say it to their face, like, "Hey, you're doing this thing, and that's really toxic, and you shouldn't be doing that anymore." But who am I to say like that's not my place? Now,
I went through the same.
So instead, it's just like this. Okay, cool, man, cool, yeah. And then I just don't
hang out.
I don't hang out.
Yeah.
I don't respond. I'm just.
I
like,
still do that a little
and
bit.
it's everywhere, dude. Like it's just red flag city over here. And to be honest, I'm okay with living in that world right now because I should be a little closed off. I've had a traumatic experience and I'm in one of those places right now where I don't need to be focusing on the world around me. I need to be focusing on myself and what I have going on. And I feel like that's what we're doing around here. So, baby steps and some things you'll never heal from, but we do get better as time goes on. That's all we can do.
Yeah,
one day at a time,
like
man.
If you guys are going through something like that, it's okay to just walk out. Like just, hey, I'm packing up my shit today, okay? And provided, okay, and now Jordan Peterson has talked about this quite extensively in his Exodus thing. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's on Daily Wire. He takes the book of Exodus from the Bible and kind of talks about how that applies to your life. And he goes, the Israelites left Egypt because, they were in slavery and they thought anything is better than slavery. And then they spent 40 years in the desert. He's like, yeah, that sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
He's like, but they had to go through that because you're not going to appreciate the land of milk and honey if you go right from slavery to this. You're just going to destroy this good thing over here. You have to do the growing in the desert.
Sure, yeah.
You're going to have to suffer.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't have the money to get into a place. I don't have the... Listen, everybody has at least one friend out there, somebody who will help them out. If you're like, listen, I need to get out of this. I'm packing up my shit today. I'm leaving. I don't know where I'm going, but you have to take the first step.
If you're in a place where you don't get a lot of cold weather, which there's a decent amount of those, at least in the United States, if you're in a place that doesn't get a lot of cold weather and you've got some overnight gear or whatever, KOAs are like $7 to $20 a night.
Yeah.
Like, just saying. They got showers, they got shitters, they got usually a pool. They usually got like some entertainment, barbecuers, things like that. Like, if you really need a place, and you got nowhere else to go, there are resources. Campgrounds, you know what I mean? Like, pack your shit up and go to a campground and maybe it's not like, maybe it's a situation that can work itself out and you just need a few days. You just need a couple days away or whatever it is. Like, there's always a resource.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to just like balls up and just get out of there. I learned that the hard way, dude. Like, I should have, but it's that manipulation, man. It's that manipulation where they
the thing for me, and maybe it was the same with you, is it would seem like you would have a day that they finally get it. They're like,
oh yeah,
everything's all nice, everything's cohesive.
Yep.
Like, you're like, okay, well, this is actually kind of working out. We're talking to each other really nicely. There's no backhanded compliments. Or
we got
like
over this weird speed bump, this awkward speed bump, and now everything's flattened out. It seems okay.
It lasts about 10 hours, and that's about back to the same shit.
And then one little thing happens, and boom, we start the cycle all over again. And it's just, and the cycle gets deeper and deeper every time you come back to it, and it gets harder and harder to climb out of. Yeah, don't be afraid to reach out to your friends, ask people, talk to people, see what they think. Ask them your opinion about what's going on, things like that. Like. It's good information to have.
Yeah.
It's always good to have an outside perspective.
Well, now that we got that out, let's see what the Hodgetwins got to say.
It's the other way around. I remember I was in the DMV, right? This was embarrassing. This was so embarrassing. I'm gonna tell y'all this story.
She whooped you at the DMV?
No, she ain't whooped me at the DMV. Right? This was so embarrassing to me. I'm gonna tell y'all because I don't care.
I don't care, right?
We was in the DMV, right? And she, my wife at the time was with me. And it was this pretty, I think she was black. She was biracial, so she was a pretty girl, right? And somehow or another, my wife at the time did this. And I did like this.
Oh my God.
I did like this.
You went into full defense.
Just a reflex, because she'd been slapping me and beating me, right? And did I look at
We should not be laughing at this. You're a survivor of abuse.
You are a survivor.
You are
Yeah.
You're a survivor of abuse.
Right. And you know what? She didn't even really like raise her hand. She gets turned at me like she's gonna do something. I was like, right?
Oh my God.
And then I looked at the DMV girl and she looked at me like, oh man. I was so embarrassed. I never told you about that, did I? No, you had that battered woman syndrome going.
That's crazy.
But she was
So she flinched at you out of nowhere.
she gets there like this.
God.
Man, that's rough.
Oh my God.
He was putting up with some shit, wasn't he?
Let's put it. Okay, he was in the Marines. He was trained to remain calm while being shot at.
Yeah.
Like,
He was putting up with some shit.
he had some shit going on.
Damn.
Oh my God.
That was your first relationship. Huh. The other black girl you was dating? The other black girl? Yeah. Yeah, she was combative too. She picked, I remember I told her it was this other black girl I was dating, right? I told her I was going to the Marine Corps, make something out of myself, right? She picked up all where's that in front of my mama's house, man? I told her she did like
She was sizing up a rock.
yeah, she was looking on the ground. Threw a rock at me.
She's trying to end your life. If I can't have you, nobody will. Radio.
That's why we have a prejudice towards black women. It's not that we just had bad experience.
You know
I had
what?
bad experience with black women.
Okay, I see.
There's some good black women out there. I just kept running into the crazy ones.
Yeah, it's just you
I
just
feel
like
that.
yeah, my luck
I
with
feel
them,
that.
man. I'm good, so I'm just gonna avoid
Let me
it.
go and check out these.
You know what?
I done told y'all. I know I sound like a broken record. I done dated a lot of women, but the only woman that said this was. Come on, put him up, Negro. I'm like, what?
What?
How do you even? What am I supposed to do? Because I don't believe in hitting the women. That was like an awkward.
What am I supposed to do?
What homegirl name? There was a Harlem Nights. What was her name? Vera.
Oh, you're talking about the
Yeah, when he said, "Why are you shooting?"
Oh, Della Reese.
Della Reese.
Yeah.
And she was like, "No, come on,
Fuck, you done did it now.
and accused me of stealing."
I was like, man, I don't hit women. And then when a woman puts her head up, and you can't take a woman for granted because she's just as dangerous as a man.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't hit women. And she come up like this, dancing like she was I was like,
She had the footwork. She
yeah.
had the footwork.
She was like floating like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I was like, man, I would knock you out.
She was like floating like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
That's like, what I'm supposed to do? That's like a tough position for me.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hit no
That's
woman,
facts.
but she
Oh,
dancing
dude.
around like she's a professional boxer.
Oh my God, yo, that is. Yeah, man, I ain't in the hit. I'll headbutt the shit out of her though.
My first wife. Well, yeah, not my first wife, but another girl. She was hitting me, and I saw what Keith was going through. I said, "Oh, not me."
Yeah.
So I took her. I said, "Stop!"
You shook the shit out of
shook
her.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she got the picture because her feet was swinging.
Yeah.
But I've never hit a woman.
Go to
before.
jail for that, bro. You gotta be careful.
Hit a woman either. I mean, you never hit. I had plenty of chances though. You had plenty of chances. I was well within my right too. Instead, I was like.
Instead, I was like,
That was so embarrassed. I did that in front of that pretty girl. She just looked at me like.
She was like, oh.
She already said, "Man, this girl is beating his ass." That was so embarrassing. I was like 19.
She probably, when she first seen, she was like, "Oh my God, he look good."
Yeah, because I think that's what I can't remember exactly what happened, but I think she saw us flirting, and then she did like this.
No. But homegirl in this video, she was all crying, like fake crying. Yeah, I'm right here. And the other lady, like, if I was a operator and hear him in the background, like, no, she not, she lying.
Yeah.
I'm recording the whole thing. I mean, she can't not take the call, but still, man, that shit is.
They're gonna bleed a woman. You go on the call, you hear the guy in the background.
yes,
Naturally, you're just gonna bleed a woman.
That's exactly, yeah.
They financially, like they doing good. Like they doing good, and they still can't. That's a shame.
I think it'll stop like once you start levying, like, doing something after the fact. Like if you find out she's lying about something. There was a rapper, and I don't remember the rapper's name, but like this woman accused him of rape or whatever, and the whole thing came, arrested him, went to court, and then he brought his phone to court. And all his DMs was just about her trying, I want to suck you off and all this kind of stuff and whatever.
Yeah.
And nothing happened to her. They just dismissed the case.
Just dismissed the case, even though she filed a false police report.
And that part,
that
has to stop.
That happened to
they gotta stop, man.
That happened to
about equal rights.
Yeah.
Like why can't that?
Yeah.
What is it? Just because?
Yeah, you give a pass because she would. That happened to a professional baseball player. He ruined his career. The truth came out. Nothing happened to the career.
Nothing happened.
He lost his millions of dollars in endorsements.
He could never get that back.
I forget the baseball player's name, but he never got anything to clear his name. Nobody, not even the media, didn't even run the story to clear his name. But they was the first ones there to ruin his name. Yeah.
Was it a white?
It was a white baseball. I think it was a pitcher.
Was it Andy Sandberg or something like that?
I don't know. I can't remember. So I'm doing him a disservice right now. Yeah, I stopped watching baseball. Atlanta Braves killed me in the 90s.
Yeah.
Win 110 games every year. Get your playoffs swept.
Yeah.
To a team that barely made it and won. They get swept by the team or beaten by the team that's like 88 and 90.
Right.
Yeah. They won 80 games and lost 90 or whatever. It's like, man, that's why I don't watch baseball no more. I caught a game this weekend, man. You're going to break your heart again. I think the reason why they're losing, I think we were cursed. I was watching the Braves and they lost.
I forgot what the hell I was gonna say. Every time I try to cut,
I cut you off. Let part-time talk. He's full. Let part-time talk. He's full-time now.
He's full-time now.
It's kind of like Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills. I was big time Buffalo in the '90s.
Dallas Cowboys just ruined all his. I ain't watching.
I don't even watch football like that. Just highlights. Now.
Yeah, they one and the same. The Atlanta Braves and the Buffalo Bills. The one and the same. Break your heart.
I got no team no more, man.
But guess what's like that now? The Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
They won a Super Bowl in 20 years.
Y'all just need to start doing cocaine again, and y'all be right back.
What do you mean, cocaine and hookers?
That whole line need to start doing cocaine.
That's it.
Get that wide receiver on that cocaine.
Yeah.
Y'all right back where y'all
Going back to the bowl.
Glory day.
Give him that smack in the huddle.
Show's over.
Oh, God.
It's time to give
Give
up
him that smack in the huddle.
Dodge Ram Power
Jesus,
Truck.
dude.
We about to do something we ain't never did before. It's a camper. Not only you get a brand new truck, you get
Oh, by the way, these guys give away
$10,000 in cash.
$10,000, a super dope truck, and a camper.
$2 million in trucks and cash and prizes.
Yep, the giveaway right now is a General Lee and a Yanko
Instead of giving money to
Camaro.
Facebook to advertise this stuff.
And probably a handful of cash, too, I imagine. They're probably giving away handfuls of cash with all of these.
Support us. It's a win-win for everybody. Go to officialhodgetwins.com. Anything you buy from the site gets you automatically into the win. Yeah. No purchase necessary. Board where prohibited.
Dude, imagine
rules for
that. Imagine that. Imagine buying a hat from these boys. And then next thing, a Dodge Ram shows up on your doorstep with a camper and a.
Like, here you go, bro.
What I would assume can only be a briefcase full of 5s and 1s wrapped in bands that a guy, and you've got $10,000 in there. It has to be. That's the only way I'd be like, oh, I'm a winner. Okay, where's the guy with the briefcase? And
Yeah, with the ones in it.
yeah, with the bands of 1s and 5s and maybe some 10s in there, maybe a band of 20s in there. You know.
Yeah.
Actually, I think one band of 20s is like 10 grand, so something like that.
Something like that. Anyway, yeah, no, it's a crazy world out there. Like I remember being. Let me see. I just moved to Washington from North Carolina, and it's kind of starting to make some friends and stuff, hanging out. And there was a guy who was 18, and he had gotten himself in some trouble because, or no, he was older than that. He was 21. He was 21. He was at a bar, and, you know, he's freshly 21, so that's where he wants to be, hanging out with the boys, shooting pool, whatever.
Can't blame him. That's exactly where I was at.
So he meets this girl, right? And, you know, he buys her a drink, and she buys him a couple drinks, and, you know, everything's cool, whatever. And they get together and, you know, go out on a couple dates or stuff. Like, nothing sexual happened, okay? But she sent him a unsolicited picture, which, by the way, okay, I think is fucking crazy, all right? How women are going to complain about men sending unsolicited pictures, and then they'll turn around and do the same thing. Like,
I I have had that recently. I've had that happen to me recently. It was just like, I didn't ask for that.
Right?
No, in my situation, like, I'm not complaining, but I get the point. It's like, you can't complain.
Like, if I turn around and did that to you, you know what I mean?
Oh, it's a totally different scenario. It's a whole, all of a sudden, it's a completely different story. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, she sent him an unsolicited picture. Something had happened, and her dad found this, and this whole thing, come to find out, she's 16. And she had a fake ID at the bar. She had a car that he assumed was hers. Like, all of this crazy stuff went down. Now, provided he never did anything, and he was able to prove that to a judge, and like he was like, "Look, I was at the bar. She bought me drinks. Like, I bought her drinks. Like,
check the cameras, dude. Check the cameras."
Like, so he got lucky in the fact that he didn't end up spending any prison time. He didn't get now. He was registered as a sex offender, even though nothing happened. It's they
from that incident,
solicitation of a minor.
No shit.
Yeah.
Damn,
and
dude.
He got 3 years probation.
Damn, dude.
So
he didn't even do anything. He didn't know.
Ever since that whole thing happened, I like first dates are a huge thing. You got to make sure like everything's cool. Like I usually won't go. Like I'll go to a place that may, I'll be like, hey, I have tickets to the show. It's a 21 and up show.
Yep.
Do you want to go? They have to present an ID, whatever. Like most places that I would go to in Spokane, they were really good at checking IDs, whether they were fake or not. They had the little light to show the watermarks.
It's getting a lot more strict around here for sure.
I would always do something like that. I would never buy the person alcohol. If they bought something first, then I would, okay, you want another one? I'll buy that one. Next round's on me, whatever. But like, I would straight up tell them, like, listen, I don't want anything. I don't want pictures. I don't want talk about sex. I don't want anything sexually for the first month at least.
It doesn't make, it's, I mean, why? Why jump into that anyways? You're just asking for trouble down the road if you're jumping right into that.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's like, you might as well just hit it and quit it. If this is what we both want, all right, let's do this and get it over with.
And even that's a really dangerous game.
Super dangerous game. I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just saying, like, if that's the intention for both of you and that's what you're both after, whatever, dude. But there shouldn't be you shouldn't be pursuing a relationship afterwards. It should just be like, that's it. Let's not talk to each other again.
Yeah, so I've always played,
I don't know,
the safe game. Give it at least a month, see how everything goes. I mean, usually by that time they've mentioned their parents, and maybe you end up meeting them somewhere or whatever the case may be. Like, things kind of level themselves out after 30 days, and you're not kind of put in this risky situation.
I'm never been in the business of rushing into things. Now, granted, I have made that mistake a couple times. I have rushed into things, and 10 times out of 10, it has always ended horribly.
Yeah.
So it's on me to learn that lesson, and not horribly like this situation where you're in a court case in this battle with someone who had a fake ID was under.
Yeah.
Just horribly in the sense that like we moved way too fast and we didn't get to know each other well enough. Turns out we have nothing in common, and both of us would never hang out in the same circles if it weren't for us just on a random happenstance getting to know or finding each other and having this this lust for each other or whatever it is, and moving one direction way faster than the other directions, like like getting into one thing way faster than everything else, and like then you slowly start to learn things about each other, and you're like, wow, I don't like that. Like you hate punk rock music. That's like my whole life. You only listen to country. I never listen to country. That's like little things like that you slowly start to find out that you're like, this was not a good idea.
Yeah.
This was not a good idea.
It's crazy because like I don't think a lot of women understand how much a man has to go through on a first date. Like, am I being deceived? Is this person actually of age? Am I being set up? Is she just here for a free meal? Oh, yeah, that's something I got to pay for. I got to pick her up. I got to do there's so much responsibility on the man's side.
Is that still a thing? Is that still a thing? Is there an expectation from women on a first date for the man to buy everything? Is that still a thing? Because, like, I've been on a date recently.
Depends on who you ask.
I went to dinner with this girl, and it wasn't even a discussed thing, and it didn't bother me. It was just when the ticket came to the table, I put my card down. Like that was just I took the thing, put the card down, and it was like $30. It wasn't like some crazy expensive thing. It wasn't a big deal. But I had thought about that night afterwards. I was like, you know what? We didn't even discuss the fact she didn't do the thing I did. Like when it came to the table, I reached for it, and like I feel like that should be a mutual thing. I don't know.
I think the thing is like, with as hard as it depends on who you are as a person. If you're the ultra feminazi person, well, then let's have it true equality. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Like, normally the man picks up the bill, and apparently that's that makes me not a feminist because you're a strong woman. You can pay for your own. Oh, but they don't like that.
Oh yeah, they don't like being told that they can do things on their own. They just like to take those moments when they can show that they can do it on their own,
when it's convenient,
make it a big
them.
Deal. Yes, when they can gain some attention from it. But any other time, it's like it's an expectation on the man to pay the bill or the man to drive the car or whatever the case may be. I had thought about that the other night and was like, I didn't even.
I'll tell you one of the things that made. And it's a super, well, it started as a small thing, kind of turned into a big thing. Me and my wife have fought often over who gets to pay the bill. And it's not you pay the bill or you pay the bill. It's no, let me pay. We're both like, let me pay, let me pay, let me pay. And that became honestly a huge issue where I would sometimes go to the bathroom at a restaurant and hand the waitress the card on my way to the bathroom. Just pay for the thing.
Yep, I've done that before as well. But then it turns into the afterwards because then the receipt comes to the table with your card back or whatever the case may be.
Like, oh, you paid for it. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Like when did you give her the card? Like I've done it to where at the very beginning of the date or whatever the thing is, give the person walk up and give the person the card and like, here, just keep this until after we're done and charge that card.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it. Just charge that card.
Yeah.
And then it becomes, like I said, the after thing where it's like, well, what if I wanted to get the thing? And it's like, well, it's too late. I already got it.
Too bad,
It's
bro.
already taken care of. It's not a big deal.
So one of the things when me and Kenna got married is we put all of our money together, so now it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys combined money now, right?
Yep.
So, yep. Mm-hmm.
So, but like that's the big thing is that there's a lot, like women just assume, well, they don't have makeup to do. They don't have to figure out what they're gonna wear. They don't have to worry about their hair and like
bullshit,
their whatever, right? And it's like, well, yeah, sure, we don't have makeup. Of course we want to look. I'm gonna put my nice blue jeans on. I might put on a shirt that doesn't have a terror stains in it.
I plan my outfits. I make sure I'm looking. Yeah, like it might not be I'm not trying to color coordinate
I'm not putting
everything.
on a dress.
Yeah, exactly. But like I'm definitely going through my closet and I'm like picking out, like you said, a nice pair of pants and a shirt that matches those pants in some sort of coordinated fashion.
Put my nice cowboy boots on.
Doing my hair, like I don't have hair to do anymore, but you bet your ass I'm picking out.
I got that beard all combed out.
Yeah, I'm getting oils in my beard and making sure that's formed. I'm also picking out a hat that matches my outfit because I'm going to wear a hat. So I'm at least, I'm going through that. That's a selection choice as well. Gauges, I'm picking out. I have 1,000 different gauges.
So we have that to go through. We have the, am I being tricked into a free meal? Does she actually really care about this? Is this somebody who's underage that's trying to, have some fun with an older person? There are some women, and I've seen interviews where this lady made a career of rape claims. She would go out on a date with somebody.
Dude, that is fucked.
Say that, they raped her. And, there's no real evidence, so it's kind of her word versus his word. And, the judge has to make it, she's a good actor. And so all these men lose their stuff, and they have to pay her damages for her therapy and all this
She's in prison now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
She eventually got caught. But, I mean, how many men lost their jobs, lost
their lives,
communication
dude.
with their family?
Yeah. Dude. You lose
lost
everything.
All their friends.
You can lose money in that shit. I mean, a lot of times, you got to hire lawyers. You got to go through the court process, pay fines, do classes, do counseling, things like that. And none of that is paid for.
Yeah.
I've learned that over this experience. None of that is paid for.
Yeah.
And the system will keep you in the system as long as they
can.
possibly can.
Yep.
Because your money is being cycled throughout all these different departments in the system. And when you're done with one department, another department steps in and goes, well, we could probably do this, that, and the other thing. That's going to be a couple $100 over here, a couple $100 over here, a couple $100 over here. And before you know it,
$1,000 over here,
couple thousand over here, fine for this, fine here, that, and the other counts. But and it's like before you know it, you're just drained, and all you've been trying to do this whole time is get out of the thing.
Yeah.
That's all you've been trying to do is get out, and it's like the exit door keeps getting further and further away behind another paywall and a paywall and a paywall.
Yep.
Dude, yeah, and
it's so easy for men to get trapped behind a false claim, and they lose everything. And like, if a man calls on a woman and says, oh, well, she raped me, or she whatever, she beat me or whatever, they're like,
it is taken
whatever, dude.
10% as seriously as the other way around.
Yep.
And I don't think either of us is trying to be sexist in this discussion. It's just the way that it is. It's the way that society is. When you look at the statistics on these kind of things, you see how this works. And just like the Hodgetwins were talking about, this woman was obviously hitting this man over and over and over again to the point where she has him conditioned to reflex like an abused animal, conditioned to reflex when she flinches at him. And it's like, how many times did he call the cops on her? Never. No. Not a single time. Yep. He took the abuse, he took the hit, and he went on with his life. Yep. And again, we're talking physical abuse that turns into mental abuse, obviously, because like I said, now he's conditioned to be afraid of this person when she moves too fast. And that in itself can be like, dude, it's life-changing. It turns you into a different person. You turn into a different person without even knowing that that's happening. That's dude.
Yeah, it's so wild, and like our justice system sucks all the way around. Period.
Yo,
but if we're gonna fight for equal rights, let's fight for equal rights for everybody. Okay,
straight up, dude. Straight up.
It's crazy. Now, not to be confused with a lot of people think, oh well, equal rights. That's how does Jordan put it? It's equality of outcome. Okay, that's a totally different thing. Okay. Equality outcome, people talk about, oh, everybody should make the same amount of money and they should get the same rewards for the, it doesn't matter how much work they put in. We're talking about a totally different thing.
That's totally different.
Like, I have just as much of a right to be protected by the law when, something false, or it may even be true. If something's brought against me, I should have an equal leg to stand on to combat the case.
There should not be
to bring a case.
Preconceived assumption going into a case just based on statistics alone.
Yeah.
And that's, unfortunately, that's the way society is right now.
Now, will I say most male are the abusers in a lot of relationships? Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
That's definitely how men are biologically more dominant than women, and
they're more prone to violence.
I was going to say men are typically more prone to violence, faster to act on anger, react in anger, things like that.
Have you ever watched women argue and they get into a really heated argument? Okay, and you're like, wow, I can't believe she just said that. Mm-hmm. That was fucking crazy.
Yep.
And then two men get into a heated argument and they might say some shit or whatever, but like there's a line that like women will see that line and fucking blow right past it, right?
Yeah, immediately.
Men will see this line and they won't cross it because they know there's a good chance that they either end up in a fight in a parking lot or get shot or stabbed I mean, typically men, when they have a disagreement, they try to work it out before it gets to this line.
And back to the physical dominance thing. Like, as a man getting into a fight or an argument with another man, I know that there's also a chance that I'm going to get hit.
Yeah.
I could get my ass kicked right now, and I don't want that to happen. Yeah. And I assume the man that I'm arguing with or fighting against is probably thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, we're sizing each other up, and it's like, even if you think you're bigger than this guy or whatever, he could still hit you. Yeah. And like, getting hit sucks. And I don't want to have to go to work tomorrow with a big old black eye and have to explain everything, or like, at the very least go to work with a black eye. At the very most, I don't want to have to go to the hospital because I'm now missing a tooth and bleeding out, or what, my mouth is bloody and fucking can't replace that. Now I'm just got a gap gap in my mouth, something like
Yeah.
broken jaw, broken nose, whatever the case may be. I don't want to deal with that. So yeah, I assume there's that line with men also where it's like, dude, this guy could kick my ass. I don't know what this guy's been through. Maybe this guy's got jiu-jitsu training.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look like he does, but before I know it,
Maybe he's a Navy SEAL. He
I'm
could
folded
kill
up
me
like
with
a
that
fucking
napkin.
I'm fucking folded up like a pretzel in the parking lot, and this guy barely breaking a sweat over here. You know what I mean? So yeah,
It's a crazy world we live in, and it is so much easier to just be honest and walk away if you have to. Like that's the and it's not about my truth or his truth or her truth, or it's not about anybody's truth. It's about what is factually true. Like, hey, look, this has changed me. I need to leave. This is not who I am.
Yep. And sometimes it's hard to realize that or recognize that.
It's really hard.
That's why it's important to talk to your friends and make sure that your friends are honest with you. Like we were talking about at the beginning when Chris had that sit down with us and was like, look, this is what needs to happen.
Yeah.
Or else it's going to end very poorly. And it did end very poorly. You know what I mean? So it's important to listen to your friends and make sure your friends are being honest with you. Get their opinions. Always good to have an outside perspective.
And make sure you got good friends.
And at the top of that, have good friends. Yeah.
That's a hard thing to find these days, too. A lot of people are so wrapped up in... I mean, you have to be wrapped up in your own life. I mean, that's how you get anywhere.
We all out here trying to survive,
You want friends who are going to tell you the things you don't want to hear.
Yep.
And, it's... And there's a way to do that. There's some friends who will... I always make the joke of our biggest hater, okay? Mm-hmm. There's some friends out there who will say shit just to get a rile out of you, okay? That's not the person you go to with your relationship quarrels, okay?
No. You can usually tell which friend it is that you need to go to in certain situations. If you're looking for a laugh, go to this guy. If you're looking for some serious advice, go to this guy,
And if you're a younger person, talk to those older people who have been in relationships for years. I mean...
And actually listen to them. If you're going to talk to them, listen to them, because...
Take their advice.
Yeah. I didn't think that my knees were going to blow out on me ever in my life. And now I'm 35, and I'm like, wow. When I was a kid and my parents were 35, and they were like, wait till you're 35, they were serious.
Facts.
It happens, bro. If I sit the wrong way, I can't get up, and it's stupid because I'm 35, and it's dumb.
Well,
I'm old.
I'm going to creak my way out of this chair. If you guys enjoyed today's episode as much as we did, be sure to leave a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, click the bell, become part of the notification gang. We'll see y'all next time.
Yeah.
Ow.
Show's over.
Show's over. Boom.
This is another one of those episodes. I could talk for hours about this, because at this point in my life, I've learned so much. Yeah. And I feel like I've got so much to tell, and I just want to be helpful to other people that might be going through the shit,
Yeah.
And give those warnings, like, hey, watch out for this, watch out for this thing. Also, if they're doing this thing, you probably want to start working your way out of that situation, because you're going down a toxic road, and it's not a good place to be.
Yeah.
Talk to a counselor. Talk to like you said, a wise older friend, a parent of somebody. Shit, even like a grandparent of somebody. Like grandparents are always looking to have a conversation with somebody. They'll fucking talk to you about anything, dude.
I mean, if you're looking to start a business, you go talk to somebody who has a successful business. If you're looking for advice about your relationship, look for somebody who's been married for 50 years.
Yep, exactly. 100%. Yep.